Have you ever wondered how the representation of women in politics affects the democratic process? As we delve into the democratic fabric of our societies, we find that equal representation is not just a matter of fairness, but a pillar of effective governance. All around the world, women continue to fight for their rightful place in the political arena, their voices shaping policies and influencing decisions. Why does this matter? Because a democracy that does not fully represent its people is incomplete. In India, a bill aimed at increasing women's representation has been met with opposition from an unlikely quarter. The Women's Reservation Bill, first introduced in India in 1996, seeks to reserve 1/3 of all seats in the Lok Sabha and state legislative assemblies for women. This legislation was born from the recognition of the underrepresentation of women in Indian politics, an issue that continues to be relevant today. The bill's journey has been long and arduous, with numerous debates, amendments, and delays marking its history. Its objective is simple, yet profound: to ensure women, who make up roughly half of the population, have a fair say in the governance and decision-making processes of the nation. The bill has faced both support and opposition. Proponents argue that the reservation is necessary to rectify historic gender disparities and to empower women in the political sphere. Critics, on the other hand, raise concerns about the potential for tokenism, the neglect of meritocracy, and the possible exclusion of women from marginalized communities. Despite these divergent views, the consensus remains that the representation of women in politics is a matter of democratic equality and social justice. However, the All India Majlis-e-Ittehadul Muslimeen, or AIMIM, has staunchly opposed this bill. The AIMIM, led by Asaduddin Owaisi, has been vocal in its opposition to the Women's Reservation Bill. The party's argument is that the bill, in its current form, only provides reservations for upper caste women, leaving out the representation of women from other backward classes and the Muslim community. This stance, however, has faced significant backlash. Critics argue that AIMIM's opposition to the bill reveals a double standard when it comes to fielding women in elections. The party, despite its vocal opposition to the bill, has not made a concerted effort to increase the representation of women within its own ranks. The party's position seems out of sync with the aspirations of Indian Muslim women. These women, like their counterparts from other communities, are seeking increased representation in the political sphere, a desire that AIMIM appears to overlook. What's more, AIMIM's opposition to the Women's Reservation Bill is seen as a part of a larger pattern. The party has faced criticism for its conservative views on issues such as triple talaq and Muslim personal law, often seen as regressive and out of touch with modern progressive values. This stance raises questions about AIMIM's commitment to the empowerment of women, particularly those from marginalized groups. It's a debate that goes beyond just the Women's Reservation Bill and calls into question the very brand of politics that AIMIM espouses. The implications of AIMIM's opposition to the Women's Reservation Bill extend beyond the party itself. This stance sends a ripple effect across the wider political landscape, potentially hindering the struggle for women's political representation in India. The party's refusal to support the bill defies the increasing global trend of recognition and inclusion of women in political leadership. It's a blow to the aspirations of not just women in India, but specifically to Muslim women who already face numerous societal barriers. The party's opposition is seen as out of touch with the changing times. It's a stark reminder of the existing gaps in the political system. It challenges the very notion of democracy, which thrives on equal representation. Moreover, this opposition also raises questions about AIMIM's brand of politics. Is it truly reflective of the diverse voices within the community it claims to represent? Or is it perpetuating a status quo that is increasingly being questioned and challenged? As we reflect on the impact of women's representation in politics, it becomes clear that the journey towards equality is far from over. and it's a journey that requires the active participation of all political parties, not just a select few.